Hi, we're at the start of stage 18. Hard to believe, only 3 more to go, and man, they are going to be good. Want to get your analysis on yesterday and today, but first I want to find out what that is on your arm.
Yeah, getting some tendonitis build up here. Started a few days ago, and now I got a big old lump right here, right on the muscle, so it becomes really painful at the end of the stage where it gets hard to shift and hard to get up out of the saddle and stuff, but it's 2 more days, so we'll make it happen.
So that's tendonitis. I mean, is that just from holding the bars and shifting?
Yeah, holding the bars and shifting, probably rough roads, long descents. I mean, literally in the tour, you're always on the brakes or always out of the saddle, climbing hard. Even on the descents, you're on the brakes hard for 20 minutes going down, and then you're climbing up the hill for 40 minutes, so you don't get much break. And the tour is really good at finding any kind of weak links in the body.
Sure. And what is the bandage? What is that actually? Is it just pressure?
No, the bandage is actually, it's an anti-inflammatory here. There's actually a really big knot right here, so it's an anti-inflammatory there, and then the tape is just holding the anti-inflammatory patch down.
Well, tell us a little bit about yesterday and what you expect to see today heading into the time trial.
Yesterday, blazing fast. Right from the get-go, really going good. Popovich was trying to get in the moves, and that was my job to cover him, get in the move, and try to kill the move, bring it back. We didn't want Popovich going up the road because then we just have our guys on the front chasing all day long. Granted, they wouldn't have to chase 100%. You could actually let the brake stay out there and let it finish, but you'd be on the front versus not. So it was important to kill that brake with Popovich, bring it back. Next brake, the brake just in front of Popovich's brake that I was with continued to stay out there. 3-4 teams chasing it for 80K. Well, we were full gas for 80K. Then finally the Castaban team sat up and everyone cheered, and then we rode a little bit easier, but it was a hard day.
You expect another one today?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you, so I've seen a couple comments from Cadel talking about that he doesn't have the team that some of these other guys have. Obviously Astana when there was 2-3 guys in the top 10, Discovery. I've never interpreted that in any way referring to you because we've seen you, at the base of the final climb every single day in the mountains. But what is the feeling within the team when guys hear that? I mean, do they accept that? Is there any sting to a comment like that?
I think it's acceptable. You look at it, and everyone knows they're giving 100% for Cadel. But at the moment, he's not in the leader's jersey, so you don't need a better team at the moment. Cadel doesn't need a better team at the moment. If he had a better team, then what you'd have to do is you'd be fighting for your position on GC going into the Tour de France versus being known as you're the race leader, the team, you got a team around you. One problem he might have with the team is that half the team we brought here was dedicated for Robbie. So these guys, you don't see the team getting upset at a comment that Cadel makes like that because they know they're brought on the team to ride for Robbie, plain and simple. They're there to ride on the flat stages, get Robbie to a field sprint and have him win a stage. And so when you devote half the team to a sprinter, then of course you can only devote the other half to climbers. The other problem is we got 3 guys devoted to Cadel. 2 of those guys were looking after Cadel on the flat stages. So you got 2 guys riding on the front for Robbie. You got Robbie saving himself. You got Freddie Rodriguez saving himself. You got me saving myself. You got Cadel saving himself. And you got 2 other guys killing themselves. So you got 4 guys that are done before we even get to the mountains, and that's half the team. Then you look at where 4 guys are done. We lost Robbie, who wouldn't have been able to help him out anyways. We lost Freddie, who can help out quite a bit on the first half of the races, but then we lost him. So Cadel is down to a sparse amount of team if he was wearing the leader's jersey in the mountains, but he's not. At this moment, he has the absolute perfect team for a rider such as himself because he has all the freedom he wants. Starting from January, schedule you want, races you want to do, when you want to show up at races, what do you want to do for training camp, all those kinds of things he has set up perfectly for him. And when we come into the Tour de France, if he was to get the leader's jersey after the first time trial or something, might have been a problem. But you saw with like last year with Floyd where he had a much weaker team also, he still found a way of holding the jersey, controversy aside.
Sure. Well, it's interesting because if Cadel does pull it off on Saturday, Predictor Lotto team only has to defend for about 6 hours, maybe less.
In theory, we're not even supposed to defend. That should be a parade going into the Champs-Élysées, so it should only just be those circuits right there, and then there'll be plenty of people to help out. If he takes a jersey on the time trial, I'm pretty certain he's got a reliable team around him to get the job done.
Let's hear it. Your prediction, top 3 on the podium in Paris.
Cadel, Contador, Levi.